Welcome, everyone. Today is our power session, right? So CAREB has power sessions, I believe, twice a month now. And so this is our first one of March, Women's History Month. So today, our third vice president, Ms. Kama Burton, is actually unavailable. So she asked me to step in as a fellow board member. I happen to be the Long Beach Realtors president as well, to step in and host for her today. So I will be your power session host. So thank you guys for having me. And we are going to go ahead and plow through this power session as I multitask, right? So you know what? I'm built for this. We are built for this. So we're going to get through it. So we are going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and read the bio of our speaker. And then we're going to get to it. All right, you guys. So, Dr. Michelle R. Hanna, who is a personal and business relationship coach. She's also a best-selling author, personal and business relationship coach, international speaker, and inspirational speaker with expertise in relationships, personal development, and spiritual well-being. With 2 doctorates, not one, y'all, 2, and a diverse background in coaching individuals and organizations, she is known for her compassionate and empathetic approach. She is the author of the Self-Vow series, which includes books for all age groups, as well as The Breaking Point and The Vows. Her most recent release, Access Denied, Access Granted, continues to affirm her impact as a thought leader in healing, boundaries, and authenticity. Dr. Michelle is the founder of the Self-Vows and Business Intimacy Programs, transformational experiences designed to help individuals and businesses cultivate authentic, purpose-driven, and emotionally intelligent relationships. She has been featured on notable media platforms, including Fox, CBS, Forbes, E! Television, and the Sandra Show, and is a frequent guest on podcasts where she shares powerful insights on relationships, wellness, and empowerment. CAREB family, Realtors family, let's give Dr. Michelle R. Hanna a Realtors welcome. Yay! Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you, Dr. Michelle?
Thank you so much. Thank you. You always make me feel so good. I sometimes I hear the bio and I'm like, wow, that's a cool person. Sometimes it's weird to think that that's even me at this point. But thank you. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate it.
Of course, of course.
Yeah. How's everybody doing? You just put a thumbs up or thumbs down, either one. Okay, Maria. Thank you for the thumbs up. So thank you, Lenice, I believe, for the thumbs up. Pamela, okay, Eastham, I believe is the name. Robert, okay, great. All right, so instead of just you showing up and I'm just presenting information, yes, I do have quite a bit of information to present, but I want us to have an engaging conversation. I know that some of you are driving, so I want you to be safe. So don't worry about it. Just engage in your head, but you can still do the exercises and engage with us the best that you can. But for those of you that are fully present at this moment, I really do. I don't think, okay, somebody else Will. Hi, Will. How are you? Good to have you here. So, but for those of you that are fully present, I want you to be really fully present. So if you don't have a pen and a paper, please get a pen and some paper, because we are not only going to just talk about different topics today, but we're going to do some work, right? Because it takes some work to actually create some change in ourselves, right? I mean, you guys work for everybody else, right? You can work for yourselves today to where you can actually just work on yourself. So let's just jump right in. So success means nothing if the price is your body. Success means nothing if the price is your body. And your purpose needs a healthy vessel. What do I mean by that? That means that our body is our vessel. So if your body is not healthy, then you can't respect your purpose. You can't show up fully healthy for your purpose. You can't honor your purpose if your vessel is not healthy. So many of us have been taught that the pursuit to success is at all costs. So give me a thumbs up if you've been taught that, whether it's been by your parents, by your family members, by a leader, by a boss, that success is success when it's at all costs. At all costs. How many of us have been taught that? I know I've been taught that no matter what, to achieve success, we do it at all costs. If that means that we're not showing up for our kids as much as we're showing up, or as much as we need to show up for our kids, as much as we need to show up for our relationships, for our family, and most of all, for ourselves. We will literally work 15 hours and show up for everybody else. We will show up for even our friends more than we show up for ourselves. So that thought that to pursue success is at all costs is not actually successful. And also when the cost becomes your health. So if I got to pursue it at all costs, and you know that you're putting in all that time for success, but you don't even make the list, then that's something that we really do have to address. And that's why we're here today, to address it. Usually this conversation is not really had with high achieving people, because high achieving people, what are we talking about? We're talking about scaling. We're talking about increasing revenue. We're talking about putting more hours in. We're talking about networking more. It's about busy, 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 busy. We need to do more stuff. But we're not really talking about, but if we do all of that and our body is breaking down, then that's a major problem. You know why? Because most people want you to continue working and working and working because they are getting something out of that. Meanwhile, your body is suffering. So I want to talk to you a little bit about my journey, just like 90 seconds of that. I was literally showing up, doing the speaking, doing the writing, the traveling, the clients, all of it. I was showing up for all of that. Meanwhile, my body was literally whispering to me at first. And then my body started to scream to me. But when I was showing up like that in all aspects, especially for everyone else, do you know what people actually said? And they thought it was a compliment. And I actually thought it was a compliment too, which was, you're strong. You look really strong. You're so strong, Michelle. Even though you're in all this pain, you're so strong though. That's what it means to be committed, is you keep showing up no matter how much pain I was in. I was literally showing up fighting cancer for the second time. I was showing up basically going through severe menopause. I was showing up not sleeping well. And even if I got 10 hours of sleep, I was still tired. How many of you actually get sleep, but you still wake up tired? Okay? Yes, thank you, Will. There's one, but I know that there's a lot more in here. Yes, thank you, Maria, where you literally get the sleep and you wake up and you're still tired. That means that there's a difference between sleep and there's a difference between rest. Sometimes we don't even know how to rest. I was in Paris and strangers were walking up to me saying to me, Madame, you need to rest. I'm like, wait, what? Do I look tired? Like, what's going on? And one lady, I just asked her that question. I said, do I look that tired? She says, no, it's not that you look tired, but your energy is given off that you really need to rest. It was almost like I was getting this spiritual awakening of I needed to just stop everything. And that is when my journey began, that I needed to do something different. I was literally in Paris fighting cancer, showing up at a conference, doing 3 days in a row, knowing that I was not good, but I was still trying to basically fill everybody's cup. I didn't want to feel like, oh, I'm letting somebody down. I didn't want to feel like, oh, I'm a failure if I don't show up. I felt guilty for just saying, hey, I need to stop everything. I need to say no to everything. Sometimes no is the easiest thing, but we're so scared to say no because we're like, oh my God, I got these bills. I got things to do. I got people to see. I got clients to see. If I say no, then I may lose that client. So now we're scared to even take care of ourselves. And yes, you cannot pour from an empty cup, but a lot of us do it. We are literally on fumes. We should check in with ourselves when we are half empty. That's actually when we need to shut it down. And no, you're right. No is a complete sentence. But people have the hardest time saying the easiest word, which is a no. And sometimes the people around you don't make it easier. Because if they ask you something and you say no, then they say, but why? Well, what are you doing today? Well, if you're just going to sit home and do nothing anyway, you could be doing this for me, or you could be going here, you could be doing that. But no being a full sentence is, I don't really owe you an explanation. If I want to sit home and I just want to look at the walls all day, then I should be able to just do that in peace, right? Because no, I always say spelled backwards, is on. So when you say no, that on activates something in you, which is the self-worth. And say, girl, you stood up for yourself. Yes. No feels good because now I open up a yes to myself when you say no. So just remember that when you're saying no, you open up that yes to yourself. Okay, so let's talk about the hustle culture myth, right? Because we hear that a lot. Oh, I need a side hustle. Oh, I'm hustling over here. Oh, I'm getting my hustle on. Oh, I'm grinding today. And we literally congratulate that. Meanwhile, your body's breaking down. You're having migraines every day. You almost had a heart attack. You're in the hospital because you've had a stroke, right? But you're hustling. Hustle culture glorifies exhaustion. Success has been tied to overwork. Just keep working. Just keep going. And that's what success usually means generally to people these days. Burnout is normalized. If you actually experience real burnout, you literally had a mental break at that point. So burning out, most of us experience, meaning we're in the process, but we don't totally burn out. Or we're experiencing the steps to burn out. But that is considered normal. Why? Because you're hearing things like, oh, I haven't slept because I've been working so hard. I'm always working. I don't even take breaks. And we literally clap like, oh, you're a hard worker. You know, you're doing your thing because you're working 15 hours a day. Meanwhile, your kids haven't seen you. You haven't even connected with your friends anymore. Haven't really seen family. Relationships are falling apart. All because we are doing literally the opposite of what is really healthy. We kind of give it like a badge of honor, but instead it's actually a warning sign that you're out of alignment. You may think you're in alignment, but you're not. When you're that tired, when you're that maybe focused in one area, but totally unfocused in other areas that are the intangible areas that you need, that is not success. So I want to talk a little bit about the self-vows. So the self-vows is my brand. That's what I've built my brand on. Self-care, self-love, self-worth, all the things, right? So you would think that the person that created the brand would be an expert at doing this. Well, I was an expert minimal of doing it. And I didn't really even realize it because in helping so many other people thrive, I literally was lower and lower on the list until I just didn't even make the list. So we'll show up and we'll engage and take vows to a whole nother person, right? Those wedding vows we take, to have and to hold from this day forward, for richer, for poor, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish, to death do us part. Major vows, but we don't even take those same vows to ourselves. We'll say to love and to cherish to someone else, and we don't even love and cherish ourselves, because anytime you're disrespecting your health, you cannot possibly love yourself on the level that you should. When you don't take time for yourself, when you don't see your time as being quality and valuable, how do you cherish that? But we'll stand before somebody else and we'll take those vows. Taking vows to yourself is about self-preservation. It's about protecting your well-being. Because what happens is that when you don't vow to listen to your body starts to whisper, and then it starts to scream. What I don't want for anybody on here is when your body starts screaming. Because then when your body starts screaming, now you're in a real health challenge at that point. Let's pay attention to the whispers. What do the whispers sound like? Well, I've had a migraine every day for a week. So I sit down and I start reflecting and I pinpoint exactly where that's coming from. But I continue to entertain that thing that doesn't serve me. Or maybe you gotta work, right? But maybe it's the way that you're working. Maybe I need to adjust that to where it works for me in a healthy way. So when we ignore the whisper, stress, anxiety, hormone imbalance, chronic illness, emotional exhaustion. So if you have felt any of those things or you feel any of those things, that's because you're ignoring the whisper. When we don't ignore the whisper, what we usually end up feeling is peace, happiness, or empowerment because I'm addressing instead of running from the issue. Eventually, our body will force us to listen. Now, when you do listen, the first step of that, I believe, is to deny access. So I need to see a raise of hands, something is that, how many things in your life that you have given access to certain people or to certain things that have no business having access to you in that way. That could be someone calling you at 10 o'clock at night after business hours, and you still answer, or you still answer the text. That could be somebody that has access to you emotionally, but has no business having access to you in your business. So you can have access to me in my emotional life, but I don't know that I want to take business advice from you. But we have so many people intermingled into every part of our lives. There's some things even about your career that you need to deny access to. Okay, so now this is where I need you to get out your pen and your paper. And Nikia is used to me. I'd rather have people to just to just volunteer instead of me actually now calling your name. So the first thing is unrealistic expectations. That's one thing that we have to deny. So I want you to write down one unrealistic expectation that you have in your life, whether it's career or whether it's people. Unrealistic expectations. Just write down one. And Will, I see you're driving, so don't write, but have it in your head. Unrealistic expectations. Okay? I'm going to give you about 30 seconds just to write that down. What is the most unrealistic expectation? And if you have a couple of them, just write down one. Just the one that's just the most unrealistic expectation. You can also have unrealistic expectations of yourself. So you could be that person as well. Okay? Number 2, overcommitment. Write down one thing that you have literally overcommitted yourself to. It can be a project. It could be that, you know what, I shouldn't have said yes to whatever it is. It could be a family function. Whatever it is, what is one thing that you are overcommitted in? Okay. The third thing is toxic environments. Toxic environments could literally be the office that you work in. So, or it could be at home. So what is one toxic environment that you can write down? one toxic environment. And if you don't have any, that's beautiful. But most of us do have something. Constant availability. What is the one thing that you're always available for? Or who is the one thing you're always available for? One thing. And then ask yourself, are you as available for yourself that you are for that thing that you're always constantly available for? And the last thing is, some of you probably need a little longer to actually probably do a whole list on this. But I just want you to write down one. You can finish it later on today. And that is the people who drain your energy. The people who drain your energy. Family can drain your energy too. Relatives can drain your energy too. Sometimes the people that we live with in our house can drain our energy. Work can drain your energy. So the one person that just, or the one thing that pops up like automatically, write that down. Okay. So Clinton, give me one unrealistic expectation.
Hold on, yes. So I'm being voluntold, huh? Okay. I love that. So one unrealistic expectation I would say is working out every day. I think that's unrealistic for me because, it's something that I try to challenge myself to in the mornings. But it's just can't do it every day, you know. So, but yeah, that's one of the unrealistic expectations for me.
Yeah, very good. And you're right. I did ask for volunteers, but Clinton, you always have something great to say. So I just figured let's start it off with you.
No, I love it. I love it. Thank you.
Okay, so a volunteer, constant availability. What did you write for constant availability? And if you don't want to say the name, it's fine. You can just say the initial. You know what it is.
Let me help you. There's some leadership. Let's pick on some leaders. Will?
Okay.
Let's do our second vice president, Will. He's driving, but he could talk.
Okay.
You don't want to go to the first vice president first? You don't want to go in
No, we like to hear from the men, especially on this type of talk. Let's go.
All right. I wrote an answer to all your questions.
Okay.
Which question do I have now?
Constant availability.
Constant availability. I think I make myself constantly available to my wife when I felt like I should. I don't know if I was supposed to write down somebody I'm not supposed to be constantly available to.
No, it's good. Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's good. Here's when it's not good. Is when you have made yourself so constantly available, even to your wife or even to your husband, to someone else, where then you are not showing up in the best version of yourself. You're not maybe addressing your health the way you should. You're not addressing your needs the way that you should. You're not addressing the things that actually make you healthy to show up for your wife consistently. So that's when it would not be healthy. But no, that's actually a good thing that you are constantly available to your spouse.
Got it. Now, I did write the opposite, because I think the follow-up to that was, am I constantly available to myself?
Yes.
Unfortunately, the answer is no, because like you said, we're available to everybody. Then by the time we get to ourselves, we're on E, which we got to do better.
Yes, absolutely. And then you have to actually make a choice to do better, because all of us have a choice to make. Because what'll end up happening, we all know what we should do or what we need to do, right? For the most part. But what ends up happening is that I end up seeing people 2 years later, and they're literally still saying to me, I need to make that change. But right now, we have to start thinking about, as we get older, we really have to start thinking about our health. And honestly, I don't even know if it's even a thing about getting older, even if age is even the thing. Because you have people that are like having heart attacks at 30 years old, right? So then, which is young to me. So what does that then have to connect with? That has to connect with the stress. That has to connect with maybe we're not addressing those whispers, or we're not going to the doctor when we need to, and we just keep brushing it off, right? So you have to take care of you. And I promise you, you will actually be an even better version to your wife if you take care of you and be available for yourself. And maybe you just start with like 2 steps. Because I know if you're accustomed to doing that, you got to start with steps. So maybe you have to start with a process of elimination first, and then say, okay, I'm going to eliminate these 2 things, and then I'm going to replace it with these 2 things that I really like doing, or that really make me at peace, or that really make me happy. They don't even have to be big things. It's just something, for change. Okay, and the last one is people who drain your energy. So Nakia, I'll let you, go ahead and choose someone.
All right.
People who drain your energy.
It's our first vice president, Miss Kinsey. Is she available?
Yeah, I can speak.
Okay, go ahead then.
People that drain my energy would be people that I view we're not on the same page, or we're not on the same agenda in terms of things. And I'm going to be more well-rounded to say I'm involved with a lot of nonprofits that's based in real estate. I'm with Women's Council. All the organizations, there's a little bit of people that are on different agendas. So it can be a little bit draining only for me, because I really would like everybody to be on the same accord when we're trying to do what we're trying to do out here.
No, I totally get that. And sometimes we're in that situation where we then have to just make a decision on how do I protect my peace in a meeting that I actually have to be in. I actually have to be here. I actually have to provide, maybe I have information for that meeting and I'm committed to it. But how do I protect my peace when maybe the person beside me is just draining, just a whole toxic vampire, just draining my energy? How do I protect my peace? And I think that has to be something that we then reflect on, because you're right. There's certain things we just can't get away from, especially when we hold the office or we are involved and maybe love being involved. But there's also some toxic things that may occur within that beauty of the organization. Okay. So how many of us know what a gatekeeper is? Just raise your hand. Just hit the little hand button. Okay. See, you will. Yes. Okay. How about anybody else? Because then I don't want to go through the definition of what that is if everybody has dealt with one before. Okay. Thumbs ups. Okay. I see some people. So then let me just go ahead and let's just talk about it for a minute. So a gatekeeper is about like protecting the person on the other side. It may be protecting their brand. It may be protecting their time. It may be, covering them, against somebody that maybe that person may not want to see, or it might not be healthy for them mentally, physically. So the gatekeeper has a very important job. And there's some gatekeepers out there that I think I'm pretty good at overcoming the gatekeeper, but there are just some that are just really an expert at it. And it is really tough to get around that, right? We should actually be the gatekeeper of our life, of our peace. We need to be that kind of gatekeeper. So that means that I am covering myself, that when I see certain situations come in that's about to mess with my peace, that's about to mess with my happiness, that's about to mess with my joy, that's an access denied for me. We all need to be a gatekeeper of even our time. If it's 7 o'clock, that's it, I'm not taking any more business calls, then that's what it should be, 7 o'clock. And sometimes that boundary has to be with yourself. Because then if somebody keeps calling, they keep texting, you're like, oh, let me just go ahead and see what they want. Instead, of keeping to the commitment. No, I don't take calls after 7 o'clock or whatever the time frame may be. Gatekeeping your emotional passwords. Because a lot of us sometimes just giving our emotional passwords out to people that don't deserve it. Too many people have your emotional passwords. Why do we have passwords for our, computer? We have passwords for everything. Because we don't want somebody to get our information that doesn't need it, or that can basically bring some harm to us. We are trying to protect ourselves from hackers. We're trying to protect ourselves, for somebody, hijacking our information. But we will give our emotional passwords out to people that really don't deserve it and that shouldn't have it. So then when they hijack our life, and when they hack our life, then we're going, I don't even know. I don't know what happened. Yeah, you do. You gave the wrong person your emotional password. And then some of us that have given it made a mistake. Okay. We need to change the password. Don't give the emotional password and then say, oh, I made a mistake. I shouldn't have gave that to you, and then keep the same password. You got to change your password. So that's something that's really, really important. That's whether that's in your career, your personal life, your whatever. Now, when we go through access denied, there is a brighter, rainbow, which is access granted. But we don't get to access granted if we don't deny access first. So access granted looks like rest. It doesn't look like sleepless nights. It doesn't look like I've gotten 10 hours, but I'm still sleepy. It looks like recovery. So I don't need to always be in a healing space and always needing the recovery from that when I have denied access so that I'm in a more healthier space anyways. It's boundaries. I feel like I'm the queen of boundaries. And I am for everybody else. But I wasn't the queen of boundaries for myself, meaning I have to put boundaries on my own self. I have to tell my own self, nope, you said you was going to say no to that. So say no to it. Because if you don't say no, this is what's going to happen. Are you ready to deal with that consequence? That's how we have to talk to ourselves. Medical care. We put off the doctor. We put off just even addressing that something is wrong. And sometimes everybody else around you knows something is wrong. And we're the one that say no. No, I'm good. I can show up. I'm okay. I'll rest after this. I am convinced that my father would still be here if he had went to the doctor. 53 is too young to die. But my dad would never go to the doctor. So I am pleading with every man on this phone, the Zoom, to go to the doctor. Ignorance is not bliss. It's better to know, because then now we can create a plan. We can do something about it. We can get in front of it. Go to the doctor. Because guess what? If you don't go to the doctor and something happens to you, right? Somebody's going to have to take care of you, right? Which is then going to affect so many other people. It's like a domino effect. Or, God forbid, it's fatal. Nakia and I lost our fathers. We are still in grief because of that. It literally just doesn't stop. Not when you love somebody, especially a parent, because, that's the reason why you're here. So think about it. If you have children, you don't want your children to feel what me and her feel every single day. Go to the doctor. And that's for women too. I'm not just saying men, it's for women too. I'm just being a little bit more passionate with the men because sometimes men statistically don't go to the doctor as much as women will go to the doctor and at least address the issue. Mental wellness. That's what access granted will give. Not mental brokenness, but mental wellness. Supportive relationships. So I am just such a supporter of Nikea's Women Elevating Women. And for the last couple of years, I have not been able to make it. So a supportive relationship is I'm going to support you, even though maybe you can't show up for something, or maybe I don't get maybe what I need from you. I'm still going to support you. And I couldn't go to her last, I'm giving this as an example, I couldn't go to her last Women Elevating Women again. She didn't know this, but I just felt a lot of guilt, like, oh, this is now like another year that I've missed it. And she sent me a text message. She had known what I had been through. She knew what I had been fighting. And she says, sis, live your life, period. Do what you need to do. And I was like, I'm in Aruba. So, and before that, I was in Belize. So I'm definitely living, but it was great for her to just support me in that way. You want those supportive relationships around you that just support your well-being. When people don't support your well-being, for me, it's quickly an access deny on that. Maybe not forever. I may give you a season to get it together, but you can't be around me in that particular season because that's like way too selfish, right? Your body is a vehicle to your purpose, and protecting your peace is wisdom. It's not weakness. So here's the reality, and I just want to talk to the women, just specifically about some statistics, which is women experience burnout at a higher rate than men. A 2023 McKinsey & Lean study found that 42% of women report feelings of being burnt out at work compared to men, which is 35%. But here's the thing, 35% is still high for men. And we come in at 42%, that's almost 50%. The American Psychological Association reports that women are almost twice as likely as men to report stress affecting their physical health, including sleep disruption, anxiety, and hormone imbalance. Lately, we've been hearing a lot about menopause. It's a thing now, right? Some of the resources are great and some of the resources not so great. I went through severe menopause. And so imagine going through severe menopause and cancer and trying to still show up for everyone else. It's literally a recipe for disaster. And I think I saw somebody put in the chat that stress was definitely the cause of their cancer diagnosis. There's a major study on that cancer and stress, they go hand in hand. People respond better to even treatment and beating the cancer when they are not as stressed out. When you add hormone imbalance on top of that then just takes it to a whole nother level, because menopause isn't just hot flashes and mood swings. It's low thyroid. It's joint now pain that you have on an everyday basis. So these things are really important that you begin to address. And so I honestly, if there is anybody on here that is in perimenopause, post-menopause, please, at the end of it, I will tell you what I will offer, but you gotta find a space that you can really just be comfortable with talking to someone in order to get the resources. Because I just did a documentary on menopause, I literally have a connection to like some of the most renowned doctors literally in the world, and that have a ton of resources that really are in this to help people and that don't mind if you just need to ask them a question. So if anybody is suffering from that, please, we need to at least talk. I did 2 years of going through a certification for menopause. Why? Because I needed to understand, because there just wasn't enough people to really talk to. And that is something that is so important. And men actually, even though they don't go through, well, there is a menopause, but even if they're not experiencing the menopause the way that we do, well, maybe you're married to a woman that she's going through menopause, and you got to try to support her through that. And I feel for you. So you definitely need some support. When we are in survival mode, we're not in the living space. We're just surviving. Surviving feels like just one heavy foot in front of the other. So who in here is in survival mode and who has been in survival mode? Just a raise of hands. Yes, Anna, I totally appreciate that. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot, that are in survival mode. And what that feels like is heavy. It's not like living. Living is something totally different. And you don't know what living is until you experience it. And then you look back and you're like, wow, I was really struggling, Okay. Otis said he's back and forth with it. We all sometimes are back and forth with it. Sometimes we live in, sometimes we're surviving. Now, I'm not going to say that there's certain situations that are just going to come up in life and you're just going to have to get through it and you're going to survive through it. I'm saying that basically you have to make a choice that you want to live at least 80% of your life in the living space. So redefining success. Old definition is productivity, constant output, busyness. New definition is alignment, wellness, peace, and sustainability. Because the way you're living now in survival mode, you can't sustain that. So I have two last questions. One is, what in your life needs access denied to protect your health? What in your life needs access denied to protect your health? So basically, what doesn't serve you? Write down one thing. What doesn't serve you? One thing. What doesn't serve you? And sometimes we could not serve ourselves. So sometimes it's us. The other thing is, let's see, what does access granted to support, what deserves access granted to support your well-being? So what area of your life deserves access granted to support your well-being? Your business can be rebuilt. Your calendar can be reorganized. Your opportunities will come again, or even better opportunities if you just say no. But what cannot be replaced is your body. Your body cannot be replaced. And so I want everybody to just write this down because this is so powerful. Just write this one thing down, and I want you to just focus on this daily. Because the most powerful business strategy that you will ever have is a healthy you. That's the blueprint. That's the strategy. You're not healthy? Who cares about anything else? Because you're not going to be there to really enjoy it. So that is all I have, and what I'd like to offer. And I offer this all the time to Nikea's team and everything, but people do not take advantage of it. So I'm going to offer it again. If you just want to have a conversation, sometimes you don't have to have a bunch of sessions. It may just be a conversation. And then maybe you only have to have a couple of sessions just to get the tools to do what you need to do to get on the path of healthy. I'm offering you that. Okay? No money, just a conversation. That is it. If you want to address the menopause stuff, I'm offering you that. Just a conversation, and we can figure it out. Sometimes all it takes is maybe me just handing you a resource. Doesn't mean that maybe you need sessions, but if you do, you do, and we will work that out. So I'm going to give my number right now. My number is 562. Somebody just gave me their number. Nikia, did you see that? I can't write it down right now. Okay. Yes, DM. Otis.
But I'm
so
gonna
Otis just
I'm gonna put it in. Yeah, I'll put your number in the chat.
Okay, great. All right. So she's going to put my number in the chat.
But still say it to him. 562.
Okay. 562 233 7668. the best way to do it, and here's the thing, I'm not even giving y'all the 888 number. I'm giving you my number and saying, reach out to me, and you can text me. You can text me and just say, hey, I want to set up something with you and we can get on the same page. Tomorrow I'm leaving, going to do my retreat, but we can definitely connect when I get back, or I got a little availability today. I could probably talk to some people today. The other thing that I want to say is please, 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 she put in the chat, the revoke.com. It's basically the company that did this documentary on menopause. I'm asking you to please, we're doing the soft launch now before it goes to Amazon. Please, we need the feedback. We need you to watch it. And I really do feel like it will resonate. And it's the most vulnerable thing that I have ever done in my life. So it's taken a lot of courage to even promote this, because I saw it and I was like, oh my God, everybody's about to see this. So it is definitely me in my most rawest moments. So please just go and take a look. I really believe that it will help you. And I believe all of my Instagram handles are in the chat as well.
Awesome. Well, let's get some questions really quick before we clap it up for Dr. Michelle. Anybody have time for a couple questions? Anyone have anything? Any comments, questions? Was it helpful? Any feedback?
I have a question.
Yes.
Dr. Hannah, how do you say no to people that ask too much of you without feeling guilty?
So the thing is you're going to feel guilty, because that's how you've basically been feeling. It's a pattern. So you've been feeling guilty like probably for years. And that's probably why you said yes so much, right? So you're going to feel guilty. But let me tell you, the more you say no, the more it starts, the guilt just starts leaving, because you know that you are absolutely saying yes to yourself, because it feels better when you say yes to yourself. You're like, I got so much time. When I said that I didn't have no time, now I got all the time. Why do I have all the time? Because I'm not showing up for everybody else. I'm actually showing up for me. So at first it's not going to feel like that, but I'm telling you, please keep on going. It's happiness over here on the other side of, saying no.
Okay, I'm going to start today by telling one person no.
Oh, I'm so proud of you.
See how I do it.
Maria, just don't tell me no, Maria. That's Maria.
I just won't tell my realtors no. Okay.
Thank you, Maria. I appreciate it. Thank you, Anna.
One more comment. You're getting some love in the chat. What we got? Anna says, Michelle, I am definitely taking advantage of contacting you this time. Thank you. Very helpful. Someone asked for your website, so I went ahead and put that in the chat as well. Otis said one of his current business relationship needs to go. Time to deny access. And he also needs a call as well. Anna says, as women, we do need to have the conversation on menopause along with the support. Otis says, you are definitely the queen of boundaries, LOL. Tanya said, people will use you if you let them. We teach people how to treat us. Will says, I get beat up when I say no. And I think you read the rest. As a matter of fact, Will has his hand up. Go ahead, Will.
Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So one of your questions was, what is that bad space or that bad environment? And I don't really have a bad space, but it made me think about what is that good space for me. And I just wanted to share that if you don't have a good space, find a good space. What is that positive environment? So like for me, it's prayer, or music when I have anxiety. I put on my gospel music and I just literally block out the whole world. Maybe meditation, going to the gym, reading a book. Family, if they're not stressful, So I just want to encourage people to find that positive environment if you have a negative one.
Thank you for that. That is so good. So good. And I'm sorry, the chat moved too fast, but whoever said thank you, you're absolutely welcome. Also, Nakia, can you put in the chat also the selfvows.com?
Yes, I'll go ahead and do that. All right, Realtors.
Thank
Well, let's
you.
give a round of applause to Dr. Michelle. I hope you guys will take advantage. She's right. She's not new to the Realtors community. She's been here a long time, and she's spoken on many different levels. And she's right. Not too many have ever taken advantage of her free conversation. But I think in this season of our real estate lives, we definitely should. So let's go ahead and give her a round of applause. We definitely appreciate you. If you guys want to catch her in person, she's coming to the Long Beach Realtors on Wednesday, March 25th at noon. We're having a Women Who Invest, where wealth meets wellness conversation, and she's one of our speakers. So if you guys want to meet her in person and continue this conversation, definitely come in person and come on out to the event. So thank you again, Dr. Michelle. You can hang out with us if you want. We're gonna have a couple of announcements from our leadership, but if not and you have to go, we appreciate your time and thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I would love to hang out, but I got to run because, I'm leaving tomorrow. But thank you so much to everybody. I appreciate just your time and everything. And I hope that everyone, even if it's just reflection, that's enough for me, is that you at least reflect it. For those of you that want to make a choice, then I'm even more excited about that. All righty. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks, Nikkei. I appreciate it.
Thank you again. Appreciate it.
All righty. Bye.
All right. Well, that was a wonderful conversation. I know we have about 6 minutes or so. So I want to open up the floor. I believe we have our first vice president up with any type of legislative updates. Parisha, you have any updates?
The only update is we are meeting tomorrow at 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock for legislation. We are dividing up the bills between everybody, and we're having a very robust conversation about the bills. So if you can join us tomorrow at 1 o'clock, it'd be greatly appreciated. And we also have legislation day coming up in April 28th and April 29th. So if you have any questions about that, please reach out. Thank you, Nikkei.
No problem. Thank you. Our second vice president, Will, any membership updates for us?
Yes. You have another wonderful meeting, and don't tell me no. I know they've been telling you to say no, but this Friday at 3 o'clock, we are having a membership meeting. We're going to talk about how to grow your membership. So if you are a president or if you have a representative or your membership chair, have them to come out and to jump on, and we'll be real quick, a quick hour. Okay? Thank you. Oh,
all right, awesome.
Last thing, and we have Fair Housing Day. It's going to be at UC Berkeley on April the 14th. So I know for Southern, it's going to be a challenge because we have Realtors Week also. But if you're in Northern Cal, it's a great opportunity, and you may even want to build your Realtors Week around Fair Housing Day. It'll be a great opportunity, and there's going to be a mixer afterwards. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And last but certainly not least, if we have any words from our president, Mr. Clinton James, you have the floor.
Yes, this was another great session here. Always enjoy Dr. Michelle Hanna. And it's a good way to start our month of March because it's Women's History Month. So definitely amazing to bring on Dr. Michelle Hanna. Thank you for the Education Committee. Also, Nikkei, for starting off the month like that. And yes, we have next month will be Fair Housing Month, and that's where we get the busiest in NAREB and CAREB. As you just mentioned, we have Legislative Day coming up in April. We have Fair Housing Day coming up in April. We also have Realtors Week coming up in April. We have the NAREB National Bus Tour, the affordable homeownership bus tour, started in April also. And also in April, we have Realtors Week, right? So we have a lot happening in April, but that's one of our busiest months during the year. As soon as we finish the third quarter, we go into Fair Housing Month, and that's one of the busiest times for NAREB and CAREB. So membership has its benefits. I would encourage you all to look at the NAREB calendar, and also go to some of the committee meetings, legislative and also education, and also membership to find out more about those events coming up in California. We are preparing for our state conference coming up in October. I want to also plug that in there. That's going to be on October the 22nd to the 25th. And our national conference, which is in July, the 26th to the 1st of August, which is going to be in Las Vegas. So we have a lot of things we are planning and preparing for. And I want to keep encourage you all that keep on being the best realtors y'all can be. Remember what Dr. Hannah said, a healthy you is the best business strategy. And thank you very much.
Absolutely. Look at you taking notes, Mr. President. I love that. But she did drop some good gems, though. Absolutely.
Yes, she did.
And I do want to recognize we have a couple of national chairs on our call. So we have our Realtist Week chair, Miss Anna Tudd, and we have our PAC chair, Mr. Otis Milton, on the call as well. So I just want to say thank you all. This was a great power session. Thank you for allowing me to be your host for today in absence of our third vice president, but we are all realtor family, so we all step in where we are needed. So I will give you guys your afternoon back, and thank you again, and have a great Wednesday.